comic books, movies, TV, and more. Nerds are everywhere. It's time to assemble! It's Nerds United.
Hello and welcome to a brand new Nerds United on live on YouTube and Facebook, a Jittery Monkey podcast that who would have thought started back in June of 2013, and here we are doing shows live now on the internet. I'm your host, Greg Mahochko. Here's the co-host of the year, the one and only Mike Luther, aka Mario.
That's right.
I always like the name fluctuations, but I'm often puzzled by them, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I started it, and then I just don't want to stop it, or I can't stop it now.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Exactly.
That's yeah.
I just
What have you been up to? It's been a couple of weeks since we got together. What? Tell me about what all that's new and exciting in your life.
Man, I have such a boring life. I swear. I need a hobby or something, but I also don't have time for a hobby or something.
Yeah.
But I do need one. I don't know. If anybody wants to give me a hobby, let me know what it should be.
Reading comic books and podcasting about them.
That's okay. That's fair. And eventually I will get back to reading comic books.
There you go. Yeah, you did have a small break from school, correct?
I did, yeah.
And I know we'll get to it, but I'm excited to hear what you thought about Absolute Batman.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But we'll
where is that bad boy?
That bad boy is
somewhere around here. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. Yes.
How did you? You've had it like you read it a week ago.
I know, and I read it. It was We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Don't worry. But yeah, besides that, no, just school, work, gym.
Gym tan laundry.
Exactly. Getting colder outside, so it's going to be I'm probably about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks away from having to winterize the house again, which means putting blankets up on doors and film up on windows.
I noticed that you've kept your face winterized here for the last few months. You're getting the winter beard going here.
The winter beard is coming back. Yes, indeed. I trimmed it down in late October.
Was it that long?
Yeah.
I feel like it's. I mean, I feel like it's been growing for a while, but I don't remember you trimming it down.
Nope, it was late. I think it was late October, sometime in October. I said, okay, I'm going to do one final. Maybe it was late September. Said I'm going to do one final trim, and then let it go till what I do till March. Yeah, usually.
Yeah, nuts. Fred is here tonight.
Yeah,
and he says bullfights on acid. He also said he was first, which, he could have said first at 9:03. And
now the bullfights on acid. Am I on acid or the bulls on acid?
I'm wondering if there's something. I'm Googling it now.
Okay, that's your Google search.
Oh, Caddyshack. It's a quote from Caddyshack.
Okay,
I enjoy skinny, skiing, going to bullfights on acid. So
interesting. All right. Well, I mean, hey, it is a hobby, I guess. Both. Go. Okay. Yeah. Fair. Yeah.
Minnie's here. Hello, Minnie. Thank you for joining us. Please try not to take over the show too. So.
It's quite all right. Take over.
Okay. All right. Which one of us is getting replaced?
Minnie can replace me for sure.
I don't know if Minnie's ever read a comic book.
That's okay. I don't read them now, so that's all right.
I know she's never seen Star Wars.
That's okay. She can probably figure it out. Space battle and all that.
There are wars in the stars. Yeah, what else do you need to know? Oh man. So it's been 2 weeks. I have done some reading, and while I have some images prepared, I don't have all of them.
But before you start that, do you have a tasty beverage?
I do have a tasty beverage.
Okay.
It's good. It's good news, bad news. The bad news is I forgot to put any Yingling in the fridge today. But the good news is I still had one beer remaining from my other brand. So I have a Schlafly Pale Ale.
Can't go wrong with Schlafly.
Can't go wrong with Schlafly. So,
and I have a love gun.
That's what I've heard.
Also have a drink.
Is that a love gun in your pocket, or are you just thirsty?
A little bit of both.
Fred says, "Wow, Mike's devotion to the show was amazing."
Yes.
And Minnie says, "OMG, Mike, I could never replace the co-host of the year."
Well, you wouldn't become the co-host of the year. You would become temporary co-host until Mike comes back.
Interim co-host.
That's a good title. Yeah, interim co-host.
Fred had a Schlafly.
A pumpkin beer.
I think it's supposed to be pumpkin. I'm not. It's like, do you like drinking pumpkin pie? And I like pumpkin pie. I just don't know if I'd want to drink pumpkin pie. Also, it's encouraging to know that Schlafly reaches as far away as Omaha.
That's true. I would try the pumpkin beer. I don't know if I would have more than one, but maybe, because you know what I looked for earlier today, and I didn't, because that's what I wanted to drink, was the cookie tin.
Oh yes.
I thought it was going to be at the little liquor store in my town, and it was not.
I almost made a stop to Total Wine, and I didn't this week. So there's always the weekend. I'll be out and about this weekend, I'm sure. I'll run out there, see what they have. I like those build your own 6-packs.
Yeah.
So I like doing that, and then I like having my stock of Yingling for 5 hard nights. So
that's good.
So as I mentioned, I did not, we didn't do a show last week. I don't have a graphic for this, but luckily I had the comic relatively handy. So I have been trying to get caught up on Space Ghost.
Okay.
And you know what I love? Space Ghost Space Ghost was around 60 years ago, I think. And it's one of the OG Hanna-Barbera titles. And then, go back 20-something years on Adult Swim, they had Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah. So it's actually, kind of cool to see a comic book starring this character that I really didn't know much about. And I'll be honest with you, it was the cover art. We've talked about this before. Cover art to me is very important because that's what draws me in. And then I saw online there was a 4 or 6 page preview of issue 1. It kind of sucked me. And again, I liked the interior art. The story's really good so far. I'm on 4 of 6. I don't know if I'm going to go beyond 6, but it's just nice to, try other stories, other comics, other publishers. This is from Dynamite Publishing. So, let's other creators, I'm enjoying it. David Pepos and Jonathan Lau are the creative team behind Space Ghost. So again, I'm enjoying it. They've got Space Ghost. They've got Jason, Jana, I think, and Blip, no, whatever, the monkey. So
okay. Now, okay, so you mentioned Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Like I said, that's the only reference to Space Ghost I have. That was kind of a comedy,
right?
Is the comic book comedy-like, or okay? That's what I thought.
No, it's full. It's action. I mean, there's action, deception, drama, intrigue. So, no, it's good.
Excellent. Is that all? What else have you read?
I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
I have been slowly working my way through this Lords of Luck, Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold, yeah. I'm interested in that.
And I think I'm 60, 70% through with it, but I just got really intrigued here in the last few days, and I really wanted, knowing that we were going to be actually doing a show this week, I really wanted to get Jeff Johns' Geiger in my hands. So I started reading Geiger. It is dystopian future. Initially, the time frame kind of throws me off because there's a timeline. It says like 5 years later, but I really think it's supposed to be 5 years earlier before the big boom. I love this cover art here. So this caped figure here, that is the they call him the glowing man or Geiger. But I love just the skull presentation in the mushroom cloud there. And just for, I haven't gone that far into it yet. So I haven't gotten to the scene because I know that there's a Geiger Ground Zero. I don't know if it's a spinoff or maybe it's just the next chapter. But this is the glowing man here.
Okay.
This is a violent book. You see the wolf or dog with two heads there.
Yeah.
And if you saw this, you would immediately look at that and be like, oh, he's totally a bad guy.
Yeah.
From what I've gathered so far, he's the hero of the story.
Okay. Okay.
And they say, I want to make sure here. Everything, but his driving force is his family. Like he, I think the bomb goes off in the distance or the siren goes off or something like that. This is very early in the story. I don't think this is a spoiler. They have a bomb shelter, like a fallout shelter. And he says, like, to the wife, the kids, like, get in the shelter. And the neighbors come over like, hey, apparently they have enough supplies for years. Neighbors come over like, hey, we're going to need that shelter. Like, and so he says, close the door, lock the door, don't let anybody in. Boom, the blast goes off. The neighbors get vaporized, and he becomes the glowing man.
All right.
An interesting question here from Fred. If everything he touches gets melted, how does he pee?
You know what? You don't have to touch it when you pee, just so you know. I mean, if you move your hips correctly, like you can aim right. That's for experts though. That's not for amateurs.
Or just pee in the shower.
Yeah, you can do that if you want.
But what I did not anticipate is that he's not always glowing man. Like sometimes he's just like he has a human form, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I don't have a picture of that because that would be too.
I can picture it. Yeah,
like that, just less green.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more skin tone. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's what I've been reading. Like I said, I'm very early in, but I am enjoying it. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank. I think we talked about them in the team up that it's not, I don't believe the first time that these guys have worked together. So, but story's very compelling. I think I've used that word before. I've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah. I look forward to reading it when I can start reading comic books and you give it to me.
And speaking of that you had a little window that you were able to read, and I know we teed it up a few minutes ago, but tell me your thoughts on Absolute Batman.
Which I do have here. I found it.
Good. So
I will tell you, when you described it, I wasn't too thrilled with it. I was like, okay, he seems to like it. I'll read it and stuff. Because the concept you talked about is that Batman or Bruce Wayne is no longer he doesn't come from money. He's not rich at all. And his dad is a school teacher, and I forget what his mom is. That's not Batman at all. This person, he could be Bruce Wayne. We don't know yet.
It's not going away.
Maybe one day he grows up to be Bruce Wayne. This could be. Maybe this is the crossover we have all been looking for.
We're jumping way. I don't
talk about Wiccan. I can.
I can't. It's not going away.
No, even better. We only want Wiccan on there. Okay.
There we go. Oh, jeez. I don't have any pictures. I don't have any pictures queued up of Absolute Batman.
That's okay. Like I said, so I was like, man, Batman, Bruce Wayne, he's a billionaire. That's people, and it's true. And I don't know what other people are going to think about this comic book, or are they going to look at it and be like, absolutely not. That's not our Batman, and that's fair. But
which was my initial reaction,
right? But here's the thing: they do take everything else that makes Bruce Wayne Batman or Batman Bruce Wayne is in this book, as far as like his detective skills, his hard work, his dedication to fighting crime.
Right.
They do some interesting things with the Batsuit that I'm not sure about. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's interesting. It's a new take. This is what has not been done before, where the ears on the cowl are knives. Like he can take them out and throw them. He has like these weird stilt things on his hands, which I don't know if I read it in here or somewhere else, where they're talking about like bats can kind of walk on their wings, and that's kind of how they do it.
Yeah,
so that's
it was in there.
It wasn't in there. Okay, good. And then the bat symbol on his chest, he can take that off, and it's an axe.
Yes, it is.
You know,
it's a very big and heavy axe.
Very big and heavy axe. I after I read this, I was like, okay, obviously I want to read. Not only do I want to read the second issue, I'm curious of what they do with other characters, because this is an absolute universe, or whatever you want to call it. So it's not going to be just Batman. It's going to be
Superman's out now.
Superman's out now. Okay,
Absolute Superman is out now in stores.
I might have to get that.
I'll just get it and get it to you.
I still have a gift card.
There you go.
Actually, I have a gift card at Twilight Comics still. I don't know if it's good anymore, but I still have it.
Probably.
Yeah. But then also have a gift card at Heroic Adventures. But yeah, I want to see what they do with that. And I don't know, maybe I'm spoiling this, but I honestly, anybody who is listening to this right now, you're either not going to get the comic book, or if you get it, it's going to be in 5 years from now. Let's just be honest. I don't know how many comic book readers we have watching. So, but it's a slight spoiler alert, I guess. At the very end of this issue, we meet a billionaire, and who just happens to be the Joker, or I forgot what they call it. Actually, I think they do call him the Joker, but they said they call him the Joker because he never smiles.
Right. Never laughs, or something like that.
Never laughs. Yeah.
A little on the opposite side of the Joker we know.
Right. But again, it surprised me how much I liked it, and I'm very curious of what they do with Superman, what they do with Flash and Wonder Woman, and the whole shebang for him.
I haven't heard shebang used in that context in a long time. Let me say. It's about time somebody brought it back.
That's right.
So,
boy, howdy.
Yeah, you're right. I loved it because there was, I think it might have even been on the cover. On the cover, is he holding the axe?
Sort of. Well, not really. But he has you can't really tell, but there's like this stilt things.
Right. Yeah, the extensions.
Extensions, yeah.
No, but I love that. I mean, think about that. That's not just an axe. That is a legit piece of armor that covers the chest plate there. Yeah. So, yeah.
Here's one thing, though. Sorry to interrupt. The one thing that I was not sure about is the spikes all over his body at one point in time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also this, I mean, okay, look, Batman's always been big. This guy's swole. He's swole as fuck. I mean, this guy does not skip any time. He has no rest days.
No.
I mean, he
6 lives at the gym.
300 pounds of just, he could take on The Rock for sure.
He's almost as big as you.
Almost. Nobody's perfect, though.
No. So, yeah, very intrigued to see where that story goes and how they build this universe. I think my probably most likely course of action is going to be maybe get 1 or 2 of the main titles that I'm interested in, and then maybe wait and get like the trade paperbacks or something. That's
probably yeah. I would probably see how Superman is, and maybe I don't know what's next. Maybe Flash. It depends what's next. See how that is, and then wait.
I think Wonder Woman is supposed to be pretty good too. Like again, pretty sizable departure from the Wonder Woman that we know, but I know Superman's taking some liberties with his origin and background, etc. as well. So, but hey, this is what DC does from time to time: is they just throw something new out there and generate revenue. It is making them money. I know that.
Good.
So, all right.
They need it.
Yeah, they need that money. So we move on from there. Let's switch gears a little bit here and talk about some television that we saw in the last couple of weeks, Mike.
All right, yes.
I want to start with a Hulu original.
Okay.
Stars a couple of legends of stage and screen, and a very talented young lady, as well as singer and actress. And that would be...
I hope you show Wiccan again. I swear.
Only Murders in the Building, season 4, Mike.
Yes. We both finished it. Enjoyed it. I'll be honest, though. It wasn't as captivating for me, at least, as the first maybe 1 or 2 seasons.
I will agree.
I want to say the first and second season, it was almost like a binge watch for me.
Yes. Couldn't wait for the new episode.
Yes. This was watched 1 episode. Okay. Cool. Great. And then I would just go on to something else for 2 or 3 weeks and then come back. Oh, there's a couple more episodes and, watch it, stuff like that. Again, not bad at all. Love all the characters and the actors and actresses. There's another season coming. Whatever, season 5, I guess. And
that's how numbers work.
That is, I was trying to figure, I was like, was this season 4? It'd be funny if it was season 6 they put out just cause, but am I going to watch it? Yeah, of course. Am I just can't wait till it comes out? No.
It would have to take a sizable leap as far as intrigue. So I'll say this, kind of like you, I watched, I think maybe the first 3, maybe 4 episodes every week as they came out. And then it was like, ooh, squirrel.
Yeah.
And I got a little distracted. And the next thing I knew, a few weeks passed, the rest of the season was out. And then I kind of binged it over the next, couple of days. But what I really liked, this, spoiler alert, this season, the murder in the building they were trying to solve was Saz Pataki, a.k.a. Jane Lynch, the stunt double for Charles. I can't remember his last name. I'm lucky that I'm getting the ones that I'm
exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, she was his stunt double on this 80s detective TV show that he was on. And, she was killed and they thought he was supposed to be maybe the, spoilers, I guess, but it's been out a few weeks now. Maybe he was the intended target and then it finds out he wasn't the intended target. And so it all culminates, and they get to the final episodes. And so I like how it wrapped up. I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't really see it coming. But I don't think I've seen, they've maneuvered the story in such a way that I've never really had a good guess as to who the killer was.
Same. Yeah.
So, but no, it's fun. Again, when you have Steve Martin and Martin Short, though that is a comedy pair. Did you ever watch their stage special that was on Netflix?
No, but I should.
It's very good. I mean,
yeah.
And I think it was it on Apple maybe? Apple TV, I think, did a 2 or 3 part documentary on Steve Martin's life.
Oh, okay.
From him working at Disneyland in the 60s as a 16, 17-year-old kid all the way up to, what he's doing now. And really remarkable. Sometimes you forget how funny he is and how, now, I don't want to say with age he's toned down a little bit, but he used to be pretty edgy,
Yeah, for sure. I also think, I'm pretty sure that dude's had white hair since his 20s.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't
gray.
him without it.
No, going back to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, he was very gray, and then of course it's just whiter and whiter. So
yeah.
But yeah, great show. Season 4 might have been a little bit of a letdown, but at the end of the day, just a lot of fun. And I'm going to put this one up there again. In season 4, the podcast or whatever, the first season gets bought by a studio for, and it ends up being a very key and vital part of the movie. But you have Eugene Levy, Eva Longoria, and Zach Galifianakis playing the 3 main characters in this movie. So just fun casting there, especially when you think about like Zach Galifianakis being 30, 40 years younger than Martin Short, and how they play off of that early on. So, at the end,
Eva Longoria being 20 plus years older than Selena Gomez.
Yeah, say that's probably
maybe not
pretty
that
fair.
Much. Maybe 20 years. I don't know. Selena's like 30 something, 32.
You're gonna make me do the math, aren't you? You weren't going to.
Yeah.
So on the nose, Selena Gomez 32. If Eva Longoria is 52.
52? Okay.
No, if she is 49.
49, okay. Well,
still, that's a good guess, Mike. That's some good luck.
Thank you.
So, holy cow, John is here tonight.
But he likes the song Roxanne.
Oh,
Does
never
he
mind.
like
That's not
it, or
John.
does he just sing it?
I don't know. Both.
By the way, I know. Do you know what he's talking about, right?
Well, technically, it's Minnie. Minnie said it. That was me, not John. Forgot to switch accounts. So.
Okay, either one. We'll pretend it's both of y'all.
Yep.
I don't know who John is either, but that's okay.
John founded coronation.com years ago.
Obviously. Just kidding. I knew who that was. Everybody knows. Good old John. You know what he's talking about or she was talking about with Roxanne.
Tell me. Tell the listeners.
Well, okay. Well, Roxanne is a song.
Right, by the Police.
Yes, but also there was a movie, I believe, called Roxanne with Steve Martin. And the only thing, I don't think I ever watched the movie because it was when I was a kid, and it was not a movie for kids, but he had a very long nose.
Yeah. I forgot that was that movie.
That I've never thought about that movie until just then.
Daryl Hannah played Roxanne. And there were also other people in the movie.
She was also a mermaid, I believe, at one point in time.
Not in that movie.
You don't know that. Was she in water in that movie? You wouldn't be able to know.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Good catch there, sir. So we're going to slow play the Agatha All Along and talk about some projects we are not in the movie Sploosh.
Depends what version you got, but if you got it on HBO back in the day, it was called Sploosh.
Well,
it was after dark.
We use an Archer GIF every week in the 5-part show, and in a post-production meeting, and after the show conversation, I had to tell Minnie what it. I was like, go to Urban Dictionary to find that one. So, God bless her. Minnie's so sweet and innocent. I feel bad for corrupting her. But Fred Laugh says, Minnie has been assimilated. So, and that's the last of the 5-part recaps for the night. So we know we're getting some projects coming down the works. I'm excited to talk about them. I'm really excited, Mike, for this. I shared the trailer, and the trailer came out a few days ago. I posted it on the Facebook page and social media earlier tonight. But I'm very excited, Mike, for Squid Game Season 2.
Absolutely. I watched that trailer, and it makes me want to go back and rewatch Season 1.
Yes.
The only problem is I knew who survives.
Right. And how and why.
I sort of remember the house and why. Like, I don't remember I remember certain scenes and stuff like that. And maybe going back, maybe it'll still be good. I can see other things. But yeah, that was such a good season. And I like how in this season that trailer, they kind of address like, why, if you survive this, why would you be back?
If I remember correctly, and the show came out during COVID, like 2020, I believe. Mm-hmm. And if I remember, so I don't want to be like spoiler, but our main character, 456, realizes that it's like his brother who's behind the games.
Probably, yeah. I don't even remember.
And so I thought he was going back in to like try to convince his brother to come out. It's a horrible idea. Just take the money and run. Yeah. Literally take the money and run.
Exactly.
But yeah, so Squid Game Season 2, right, I believe, before, I want to say December 20th. It's like last 10 days of December is when we're going to get that on Netflix. So, no,
I'm looking forward to it.
Same.
I've had certain clips come up on like TikTok and stuff like that that I forgot about. Somewhere I was like, man, that was a sad part. But, no, I might go back and rewatch it. I might.
Right. I think you let me know if you do, and then I will.
Okay.
So, because it's worth it. Yeah, it is. It's not like the comfort food rewatch of, say, like a Community or Office, or for me, as we know, Futurama. It's like it's an intense rewatch.
Yes,
and you're right. A little bit of the fun is out of it when you know what's going on. Did you ever watch the Squid Game like reality contest?
No,
I did.
How was it?
It was good. Like it was. Obviously nobody's getting. I think the word we're supposed to use on now is unalived.
Unalived. Okay.
But it was still dramatic, and somebody still left with a boatload of cash. So
I did watch the Mr. Beast YouTube Squid Game thing, though.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, you're old, so
I know that there's some Mr. Beast chocolate candy in my fridge that apparently was purchased at Target for probably too much.
Probably too much. Yeah. Yep. For 100% for sure, and I've heard it's fine.
I tried a piece, and fine. But I'm sorry, if you're paying more than like $1.50 for this chocolate bar, you're way overpaying.
Yeah.
And I know it costs more than $1.50.
Yeah.
But the things we do for our children. That's not the only.
You know who Mr. Beast is?
Garrett does.
Garrett does. Okay.
Yeah, he watches too much YouTube, in my opinion. But
probably.
But in fact, about 10 minutes ago, I heard him up there giggling, watching YouTube before bed. So, anyway, we're also getting, as we are now into November, and I know we've talked about one, but I'm excited to talk about two little, what I believe to be, and you can tell me because I didn't actually get to watch the trailer, two family-friendly holiday movies coming out. We'll start with this one, which, honest to God, I thought it was a typo when I saw it on Facebook. But the name of the movie is Dear Santa.
Yes.
And that is Jack Black.
Yes.
But he's not playing Santa Claus. He's
Correct.
playing Satan Claus.
Just Satan, really.
Oh, just Satan. Okay.
Yeah. You said you didn't see the trailer?
No.
So essentially, here's the thing. Like, I saw like a poster for it. I'm like, that's kind of gonna be dumb. And look, it's not for me either. It's for kids and stuff like that. But I watched the trailer. I'm like, okay, this is better than I thought it was going to be. And the good thing is, I think it's just going to be on Paramount. I think you can buy it on digital, but it's also going to streaming on Paramount. I'm not sure. I'm definitely not going to buy it, but it's a cute little, like, the trailer's kind of cute. This kid over to the right there, everybody's writing letters to Santa, and this kid can't spell, so he writes "Dear Satan" and then puts it, and then so it goes to Satan, and Satan's essentially like, yeah, I'm better than Santa, and I'm going to grant you 3 wishes. And then he's like, and then afterwards, I'll take your soul. And the kid's like, the kid that he's trying to corrupt the kid, and the kid's like, not, this kid's just good and stuff like that.
Right.
It's a fun trailer,
Do we need to be exposing children to Satan?
Yeah, might as well. No, I know for Nolan, whenever he was little, I used to be like, Satan's coming, good night, and then just kiss him on the head and then leave. And he's okay. I know him. He's fine. He cries at night sometimes and doesn't like the dark, but besides that, he's fine. I mean, evil stuff is in all children's stories.
Yeah, but Satan? Yeah. Like, I feel like church lady. Satan?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, just don't have your kids watch it. I'll watch it for them.
Okay.
And then tell them all about it before bed.
BFOTS Josh Hansen is here and says, I don't know what the demographic for that movie is.
Yeah, I don't know. I say just gather all the kids around, have them watch it, and see what they think.
Minnie says, what parent would take their kid to see that movie?
I don't know. Have you guys seen the trailer for it?
Well, I haven't.
Exactly. So let's watch the trailer first.
Okay.
And then let's judge.
Okay, fine.
You know,
next week.
You're right. Look, I don't have little kids.
Right.
I have a 20-year-old.
Next week, I'll come back with thoughts and notes.
Okay.
All right. So that is one that is definitely a movie that is making its way, hitting the rounds, whatever, this holiday season. Mm-hmm. But one that I'm actually really excited for, and Fred's going to shit a brick here. Red One.
Yes, agreed.
This looks like so much fun.
Now we know that we don't judge movies on like critics and stuff like that.
Right.
But I do have to say, from what I've heard for reviews,
drizzling shits.
Somewhere between bad and okay is where the reviews have been. Bad and okay.
But here's the thing, and no disrespect intended, but at this point, if it's got Dwayne Johnson in, you kind of know what you're getting, right?
Fair, yeah.
I mean, you're not getting.
I'm surprised this isn't in the jungle, to be honest with you. Doesn't make any sense.
Actually, you've seen the trailer. They do go to a beachside jungle area at some point.
Yeah. So. Now, I don't like the fact that this is in cinemas.
Mm-hmm.
It should be on streaming service. And here, maybe it will be soon, because I thought I had read somewhere that I thought it was only going to be out in theaters for a moment, where they're going to get, even if it does bad in theaters, they'll at least get their money back for what production or whatever it is,
right?
And then it goes on streaming, because I don't plan on spending a lot of money to see Red One, even though I want to see it, but I don't.
You want to see it, but you don't want to spend any money to see it.
Yeah, I'd rather see it at home, But yeah, look, I'm excited for it for sure.
Fred says, Fred says, I saw the trailer and thought I was having a fever dream and a stroke after bullfights on this.
Is he talking about the trailer for Red One or for Dear Santa?
Red One.
Oh, a Red One. Okay, I was going to say, because like Dear Santa is not you're not the demographic at all, Fred. Sorry.
And Minnie says Red One looks like the craziest Christmas movie ever.
Fair, yes.
But I mean,
here's
Chris. You get Chris Evans, Dwayne Johnson, J.K. Simmons, other people, certainly.
Is that
Lucy Liu?
Okay, that's what I was gonna say, but I was like, it's gonna be really bad if that's not her.
I'm gonna verify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lucy Liu.
Okay, that's what I thought. Polar Bear.
Yeah. Definite. Bonnie Hunt is in there. Come on now. As Mrs. Claus. Yes. Sign me up.
Here's one thing I think everybody can agree on. Okay. That Red One will definitely be better than Christmas Vacation. That's, I think, what America... Look, America's divided right now, but we can all agree on that, Oh,
well, Red One, or not Red One. See, Christmas Vacation is the 2-time Nerds United Christmas Movie Tournament of Champions winner.
For the reason we no longer do the Christmas tournament.
Or at least, we don't include that one.
Yes.
So, Fred says, now Mike is high.
Yeah.
And Minnie says, no.
I think she meant, no way. I can't believe Mike was so correct about that.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. She just forgot the rest of the words.
I get it, Minnie. I get it. I understand.
Yeah. Minnie says she will want to watch a Red One every year.
Yeah. By the way, can we start watching Christmas movies now?
We have.
Okay, good. I'm going to start now. I was waiting for you.
Last night, last night we watched The Grinch, the newest one. We didn't really watch Christmas. We watched Charlie Brown Thanksgiving earlier tonight.
Okay.
We also rented Transformers 1.
Right.
Rented that on Prime Video for $9.99. I could have bought it for $14.99, but I know it's going to be on Paramount by the end of the month.
Yeah.
And Fred says that this is going to be fun when we get to Christmas movie time. Fred says the only Christmas movies I watch every year are Christmas Story and Die Hard. Which
not a Christmas Carol?
No.
He doesn't watch a Christmas Carol and relate to Scrooge?
or It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
And relate to oh gosh dang.
Mr. Potter.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's like, no, Mr. Potter, I get it.
Yeah.
No, I understand. What's this George Bailey guy doing?
Yeah, he ain't shit, that Bailey. Minnie is on Team Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
I'm not even gonna go there because I don't care.
I agree with Minnie on this one, but I had this standing long before I ever knew Minnie. I think to be a Christmas movie, it has to be released sometime in November or December. Okay. And Die Hard was released in July, cinematically. So
yeah.
Bruce Willis ended the argument. He says it's not a Christmas movie; it's a Bruce Willis movie. So, all right. So those are a couple of Christmas movies to look forward to. It's not all the Dwayne Johnson we have to look forward to.
Good.
Because we need more.
That's absolutely.
And we just talked about this here probably within the last couple of months, but they're making a Jumanji 3.
Yes. It's been a while since the second one came out.
2019.
19, yeah.
Sorry.
And no, you're fine. I think this one's coming out 2026, I believe.
It is happening, yeah, which, 2 years from now, December 11th, 2026, Sony announced. And it's going to be some bad timing, I think. Because if nothing else changes in the production schedule or release schedule, this is according to Deadline.com. Jumanji 3 opens 1 week before an untitled Star Wars movie, and Dune 3 from Warner Brothers Legendary is supposed to also be released on December 18th, so a week later. So it's going to be a weird December in 2 years.
So my guess is they're not expecting it to do great, and maybe it's, I don't know, putting it out there and then it's going to be on I don't know, Disney Plus or whatever. I don't know what goes on.
Good question. I'm trying to figure out because I only saw the second one here, like I said, within the last couple of months, so I don't remember what streaming service. It might have been on Hulu.
Maybe I don't know.
Look,
here's the thing. I enjoyed the first two.
Mm-hmm. I think we talked about this before. I enjoyed the first one more so than the second one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And reason being is the second one got too much of the Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart syndrome, where they feel like, all right, well, we gotta be a little bit more brash and vulgar than necessary. Like you go back to what year was the original one? 1990. Just had it here. 1995. Robin Williams, Kirsten Dunst. That was a full-on family flick. And the second one here, which is what this image is taken from, the Next Level or Level Up, whatever it is. I think when we talked about the movie a couple months ago, I was like, man, they jump right into like profanity and just language. I'm like, I wouldn't be comfortable watching that with my young children.
So that's fair. I'm expecting the third one to be a little more.
Minnie says, just out of curiosity, what does one wear to the jungle? Because based on the picture, I'm very confused. So, Minnie says she hasn't seen one or two, but Minnie, if you saw the one from 1995, then you know that Jumanji is in that version was a board game, and you play the game, things happen. Robin Williams' character gets sucked into the jungle, and then other animals, stampedes, things like that. In this updated version, it is a video game that they get, sucked into. So, just generic video game jungle attire.
Yeah, and they even mentioned how kind of absurd it is, or she does,
right,
when she goes in there and it's like,
I mean, her outfit, Karen Gillian,
yeah,
her outfit's basically like Laura Croft from Tomb Raider series.
Yeah.
So,
or yes, it doesn't make sense at all.
No, and it's not functional.
No,
like one of them is functional, and of course that's Dwayne Johnson.
Sort of, yeah.
Come on.
I mean,
the rolled up sleeves that show up the muscles. That's
what you got to do.
That is absolutely what you got to do. So, so that's, we got 2 years till we have more of that.
All right.
Now this one is, I've been excited to talk about this. So excited I forgot about it 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
But you remember the fantastic 90s and early aughts adult animation, I don't know, but maybe not the best way to describe King of the Hill.
Yes, of course.
They're bringing it back, right?
I did not know that.
They're bringing it back, and they're not doing like Futurama was like a direct sequel, type of thing. It kind of they're doing a little time jump, so it's 9 years into the future.
Okay.
So, and obviously we know that Brittany Murphy's no longer with us. So Luann, I don't know if that character will have moved on, but I did a lot of digging, and I was able to find a rendering of what Bobby Hill is going to look like in this sequel series. He's now 21 years old.
Okay.
And he is a chef.
Okay. Interesting.
And you probably can't read what that says, but basically the heading underneath it is he's a top chef in the Dallas area. One of the younger chefs brings some of his small town home recipe with his own spin on it types of things to this restaurant. So that's the Bobby Hill we're going to get in this new version of King of the Hill.
Okay. And when is this coming out?
It sure is.
Okay.
Let's see here. $2025.
Okay.
That's all we know. Parade.com says it's come back after more than 14 years off the air. Just looking to see the creative team is all still, again, this is a Mike Judge and Greg Daniels project. Mike Judge, of course, did Office Space, Beavis and Butthead. He's been a big part of the last 25, 30 years of pop culture. All we know is that the premiere is not likely until the beginning of 2025. So,
all right.
Highlanders here made it tonight. Excellent. Welcome, Highlander. Josh is back, and we have a great crowd here.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. So, all right. Well, let's turn our attention to another show that we both finished watching here not too long ago, mostly because the last 2 episodes aired last week over on Disney Plus, a Marvel series called Agatha All Along. Mike,
I swear we talked about this already, didn't we?
We didn't talk about the end of it because the last 2 episodes were last week and we didn't do a show last week.
Okay.
So
I enjoyed it.
I did too. And we know here in the last couple of, through the last couple of episodes, we found out who Aubrey Plaza's character is. We found out who Teen was officially. Since we've accidentally already shown that graphic, let's put Teen up here. So there is, I don't even know the actor's name. Essentially, it's Billy Maximoff, a.k.a. Wiccan, one of the twins, one of the young Avengers, one of the twin sons of Scarlet Witch. So they really made this character out to be one of the most powerful characters in Marvel, would you say? I mean, they're his ability to, I don't know, rewrite reality type of thing. What do you think?
Well, did he write? He didn't rewrite reality. His mom did.
But I think they're preparing this character to be very powerful.
He's going to be powerful for sure. He's going to be part of the Young Avengers somehow, and yeah, but he's I would say powerful, but still needs to understand his power.
Yeah, harness, get control,
control it.
Here's a Thursday night joke on a Friday night, but Fred says, "Is that Dylan as a superhero overthrow?" No. So I enjoyed the show. I enjoy where it went. I enjoyed the Witches Road. I enjoyed that they definitely made it seem like at the end when Billy's back in his room and he's kind of processing, he's looking over, all around his room, and he's like, was it me the whole time? Type of thing. And then I guess as a little bit of a spoiler, right at the end, that little cackle, that maybe Agatha's not fully gone.
By the way, I thought that was the last episode. And
because then they had,
and
you pulled a Greg.
If it wasn't, because how it ended, I was like, because for some reason, I was like, I know this is the last week. I was like, I remember there being 9 episodes. There's supposed to be 9, and this was the 8th one. So I was like, maybe I read that wrong, because this is the last week for it, and I didn't realize they were doing 2, or it just somehow I'd messed up, and so I thought that was the last one. I'm like, wow, okay, that's interesting. And then luckily, when it ends, you see at the bottom, at least on my TV, you see it on the bottom where it's like, episode 9 coming up in 30, 29. I was like, oh, okay.
And it was more or less, it was Agatha's, I don't want to say youth, but like her journey in more colonial times. Yeah. Pilgrim, I'll say Quaker, but Pilgrim times. Yeah. So we found out who Wiccan is, and we also found out again who Aubrey Plaza's character was.
Yes.
And that is the character of Death.
Yes. Which I know we've talked about that, because we mentioned that she has obviously ties with Thanos, which people have pointed out that, when Thanos makes his very first appearance in the MCU, I believe after the first Avengers, he talks about, to court death. And in the comic books, yes, he had a thing for death and stuff like that. Now, did they mean that when they put it in, or was But
I even as good as Kevin Feige is, I don't think he had the foresight for all of that.
Yeah. But also she has a thing with Deadpool too as well. So she can make appearances anywhere in Marvel, and it would work out.
Well, Minnie wants to be her for Halloween next year.
Go for it.
All practical effects and makeup here. So
that's true.
There were some behind the scenes images. I just saw them, I think, earlier today. Maybe it was late yesterday. But a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. It's tremendous amount of prosthetic work and things like that. But yeah, it was awesome. The way that they and again, I don't know enough about Agatha Harkness as a character or anything like that. So I was it wasn't Mephisto. So
true.
But I in watching the series like you did, I don't remember any Mephisto references, but I thought that there were some columns or articles saying that they finally made mention of it.
There were. Did
I miss it?
Yeah. We talked about it already.
Good.
I think they directly reference him at one point in time when one of the witches is talking to Teen at the time, and is talking about Agatha Harkness's son, and she says that she sold her son. The rumor is she sold her son for the Book of the Damned or whatever, and then she did it for and now he's an agent of Mephisto, I think.
Gotcha.
You know.
Well, that's what I get for paying attention to the extent that I paid attention, apparently. So it's because of this, how this series was a I don't know if I want to call it a sequel or anything or a spin-off, but of WandaVision, and they are going to have a series coming out. They start shooting it next year. A Vision series starring Paul Bettany. So, in an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, Paul Bettany talking about Agatha All Along says, "I love it. I love it. I'm so proud of the showrunner Jack Schaefer, who's going to be also the showrunner on Vision Quest, I believe. I'm going to watch it again because there's so much for me to learn moving forward into my contribution." He said he's never read a script like the one that he has. He says, "I'm beginning to figure out that I'm playing." Oh wait, no, never mind. It's a different show. Sorry. But anyway, he's going to take notes from Agatha All Along and use that to inform his performance in the Vision series. That also is going to include James Spader's Ultron. So that's going to be interesting.
Absolutely.
And while we're talking about Marvel stuff, somewhere in here, I finally have a graphic of some 2025 projects.
Okay.
That we can share and discuss. Let's see here. If this is the one. There we go.
Okay.
Marvel's going to be busy next year.
It will be. We should also wait until our end of the year episode to try to figure out what we're most excited for.
Of course.
So we can talk about this, but we're can't really rank them per se.
No, I wouldn't dream of it.
Now, some of the Ironheart, I was surprised. I didn't know that was actually still coming out. Marvel Zombies, I had no idea about. Wonder Man, I saw a very, very brief teaser for.
I have no idea what Eyes of Wakanda is supposed to be about.
Probably Wakanda.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, my guess. And your friendly neighbors.
I was going to say, Fred said that taking notes from Agatha All Along is like taking notes from Satterfield. Now, Fred, I'll say this. Watch the show. I think you'll change your mind.
And if not, you'll have something else to complain about. So, win-win, right? You know?
Just go into it with an open mind like I did. I don't even know if I went into it with an open mind, if I'm being honest.
Go into it grumpy.
Let all your preconceived notions turn out to be true. So.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, I believe that's. I was going to say, I believe it's animated. It says Marvel Animation up there.
Yep.
And that one, I feel that one was supposed to come out a while back, or maybe I just thought it was going to. But yeah,
I don't know if that is that supposed to be in the world of like the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not
fair.
Exactly sure. We'll find out one day.
We did get a trailer for Daredevil Born Again.
Did see a trailer for that. That looks amazing.
That looks wild.
Yes.
And again, Eyes of Wakanda. Maybe it'll be more around Shuri and the technological advances of the country or kingdom of Wakanda. Ironheart, I really don't. I mean, they've had Ironheart prepped and ready to go for a couple of years, so I don't know really what to think or make of that. Marvel Zombies seems. I mean, that's going to be animated too. And then I don't remember seeing anything on Wonder Man. It might have been in Here's Everything We Have Coming Up reel.
Yeah.
So
there is a small, very, very like 15-second teaser for it, which you don't get much out of it. Somewhere out there. Like I think an official one too. But yeah, hey, 2025. We get, like I said, I think I put it on the Facebook page. I thought they were cutting back on TV shows.
Yeah,
and they got 6 in 2025. But hey, maybe they were like, yeah, never mind. Well, we got to make money.
They do. They do need to make money because I honestly, I think what they've been giving us here in the last couple of years has been fewer and fewer projects. So
True.
maybe it's time for them to give a little ramp up. So, well, Mike, speaking of shows, how about at the hour mark we get into our quote unquote main event that we
let's do it.
Feel like we haven't done it in a little while, but as a little reminder, a little refresher, we've been doing this for months, give or take, and off and on anyway. And we pull a number of shows or whatever the topic is. I think we've done desserts and pizza toppings and things like that, movies and music across the board. And we give the other gentleman on the show a list of 10 or 15, whatever it is, and we say, you got to keep 5 and the rest of them have to go. So we're doing that with comic book TV shows now. Yes. And I'll be honest, when you sent me your list over a while back, I was like, oh, animated too, huh?
Yep.
So I've got some of those for you. You've got some of those for me. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Let me queue up the list for you. And also, I feel like I have a sneeze coming on. So,
okay. I also should point out that I normally just give Greg my 15, and then I don't see his 15 obviously because he puts them together. But this time, just make it more fair because there's a lot of times that I don't mean to, but sometimes I pick like the really good ones, and then Greg doesn't have much. So I told Greg, hey, and actually when I did this, I had a list already, and I told Greg, I said, name 5 of them, and I didn't tell him what my list was. I said, name 5 of them that I cannot use at all, and 4 out of the 5 that he picked was on my list. So I was like, okay, cool, but it worked out.
The funny thing is, I have had my list ready for a week, but I didn't get the graphic, and we didn't do the show last week.
Yeah,
but I don't remember the 5 that I told you. So if they don't make it on the list, don't be disappointed. I
don't remember either. To be honest
cool.
with you.
All right, so here's
one of them.
Here's mine for you.
Okay.
And we have Batman Beyond, Iron Fist, Hawkeye, the original Flash. We have Peacemaker, Daredevil, Agatha All Along, Batman the Animated Series, The Boys, the OG Batman with Adam West, Batman 66. We have the newer Flash with Grant Gustin, Lois and Clark. We have Luke Cage, X-Men, and the Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno.
Okay. So I believe 2 of them, I think that I had, maybe not, but I'm for sure picking Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. I knew you would.
And Peacemaker.
Okay.
There's 2 for sure. Gosh, okay. Iron Fist, I don't even know why that's on there. I just throw that one away. Gosh, the Batman animated series, Batman. Look, I mean, the whatever, 66, 67 Batman, whatever that is. I mean, yeah, it's cheesy, it's dumb, but like, it kind of got me into superhero stuff. Like, me and my brother would watch that when we were little, and I think for nostalgia reasons, I'm going to have to put it on there. Is it the best? Absolutely not.
Whoa.
It's not even close to the best, but look, you have to. The Flash was great for the first 3 seasons and then just slowly dropped off. I'm another nostalgia thing, but also because it's great. I'm putting the X-Men on there. So I got 4. Now the Boys. Okay, here's the thing: Batman Beyond, I didn't watch much at all.
Okay.
Iron Fist, absolutely not. Agatha All Along, yeah, it's fine. Lois and Clark, not bad at the time. I don't think I would want to go back to rewatch it. Here's the thing: Luke Cage. I kind of forget about that one sometimes.
Right.
When going back, and I've thought about that for a bit. Incredible Hulk, I never watched that. So look, I'm gonna have to go with The Boys.
Okay.
I mean, I enjoy The Boys. So yeah.
All right. Good. Yeah. And full disclosure, after looking at the list that you gave me, I'm like, I don't really have much to choose from. So, no, it was fun. And By the way, this is a very linear put together graphic compared to the one that I have, and that's not your fault. But let's look at Mike's picks for me. Yeah. All right. By the way, Fred says list one: Original Flash, Old Batman, Incredible Hulk, Batman animated series, and Daredevil.
Fair. That good.
Yeah. Fred's old too, so that's why.
Yeah.
He also says Daredevil was one of the best ever. Iron Fist was the worst of that era of Netflix shows. Yes. Danny Rand in board meetings. Danny Rand talks capital gains taxes.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Daredevil season 3 was probably one of the best. And you probably never saw season 3, did you?
Not yet. But I am dedicated to watching all of Daredevil before New Daredevil.
That's so sad, Greg.
I'm sorry. All right. So here's what you gave to me, Mike.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I have X-Men 97, Stargirl. So, by the way, I don't even remember these, by the way. Okay. X-Men 97, Stargirl, Smallville, She-Hulk, Defenders, Jessica Jones, Swamp Thing, Cloak and Dagger, Arrow, Loki, Watchmen, Echo, Legends of Tomorrow, Spider-Man, and Superman and Lois.
Well, the first one for me will be Smallville.
Smallville, absolutely. Yes.
10 seasons. I still love it. I'm still in the middle of rewatching. Like, if I were dedicated, I would have finished it, but I'm on like season 9.
Yeah.
So, but I love it. I watched, or I know why. I listened to the Talkville Smallville recap podcast. So that was big for me. I'd put Loki in there.
Yeah.
Particularly because I actually really enjoyed season 2, actually more than season 1. Yeah. Not that it matters, but I'd put Loki in there. I would do Jessica Jones.
Yes, good choice.
That first season of Jessica Jones is so good. It's creepy. It's unsettling. Yes. It makes you like for this. For Jessica Jones, first season Jessica Jones, you have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yes, and it's not a big bad destroying the entire city that she needs to save.
No, it's very personal.
Worse. Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. So I've got Smallville, Loki. Just that season of Swamp Thing was so good. It's underrated, and it's unfortunate that the production costs were just too high, and we didn't get a say. It was never meant for the CW. It was a Max show that, remember, they put it on CW in the pandemic because they needed the content.
Yeah.
But they're like, we can't keep this this make-believe swamp in this warehouse. I mean, look, we have no storage capacity for it. So it was really good. And then here's the thing, like early Arrow was tremendous. Echo was solid. Mm-hmm. The nostalgia in me wants to go Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Those would be the I've never seen Cloak and Dagger.
I thought you had seen that.
I've never seen Cloak and Dagger. And I've seen like the first season of Superman and Lois. Stargirl was good. But Stargirl was like, I'm not the demographic for Stargirl, and I accept that,
Right.
Let's see.
By the way, watch if you only seen the first season you said of Superman and Lois.
Yes.
Watch more of it because
okay.
I think he might be one of the best. And I hate to say this, he's the best Clark Kent that.
Okay.
Clark Kent to Superman, meaning that obviously they look the same, but just the way he plays it. And look, if somebody says Christopher Reeves, you're correct. But just the way he plays it, you'd be like, oh yeah, obviously nobody would think that he's Superman. He plays it not in a bumbling, like, oh, the Christopher Reeves push the glasses type way. Right. Almost like a goofy dad type of, way where
I totally get that.
Yeah.
From in his Tyler
like Hecklin? Sure. Oh yeah, I think it is something like that. It's like Hoecchlen.
Yeah. Heck.
Ryan.
Fred says, which Spider-Man series is that on? So this is like the Spider-Man 94, 95 series.
Yeah.
Which was So here's the thing too, is that Watchmen, the series that was on Max or HBO Max a couple years ago, that taught me, like, I had no idea about like the Tulsa riots, or I can't remember what the exact event was called, like Tulsa Main Street. And so that was educational to an extent, but the entirety of that season or series, I couldn't get into it, and to the point that
you liked it.
I mean, I did, but not to the extent of some of the other shows here. But and Damon Lindelof couldn't get into it either because he's like, I can't do another season of this.
Well, it was also because, unless I'm thinking of something else, wasn't that they had said that he only wanted to do one season? He's like, I have this written for one season, and then that's it. And if somebody else wants to take it and move on from there, that's perfectly fine. But I don't. I love the fact that he was like, I only want to do one because that's all I have right now. And they probably, like, I think it did really well. I know they probably would have paid him more just to, and what most people would have done, just like, okay, I'll think of a second season. Let me go. Okay, it's whatever, but he didn't. So
no. So because of that, I'd honestly just probably go Arrow for the early seasons.
Arrow, yes, So I don't even know if I saw. I think I saw the first three seasons, and that's it.
I saw more than that, but I bowed out at some point.
That's fair.
So
okay, all right,
all right. So
go back to mine and do my picks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure. My pick might be the same as yours. Okay.
So as I'm looking at this, I would do Daredevil, Peacemaker, The Boys, X-Men, and Batman the Animated Series. Although Hawkeye's underrated, I think. It
is. Okay. All right.
Oh, and Minnie says Swamp Thing was a movie from the 80s, wasn't it? It was.
It was, yes.
It was also a TV series a few years ago. So,
and it will be a TV show again, hopefully.
And fun thing, I not that I key in on these moments, but like I was younger once and I was watching Swamp Thing on HBO or something like that. And it again, 82, 83, 84, something like that is when it. And the female character, Abby Arcane, at one point she's swimming or whatever. She is full on topless. Everything's full frontal. And I was like, what? Like in a comic book movie? And it's a PG movie in the 1980s.
That's PG for the 1980s for
80s
sure.
was a different time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fred says, wasn't Hawkeye the one where we're introduced to a younger, smarter, better chick who's going to take up the mantle? It was. And I'll say this, Kate Bishop, the Haley Steinfeld crushed it.
Yes. And also it was Kate Bishop from the comic books. So
yeah.
Yeah.
They even this, I can't zoom in on it, but the graphic that they use is pulled right from the comics. So,
yes.
And it was good. It was again. I went into it, and when you look back and you hear Kate Bishop, like the character's motivations for wanting to get into archery, because she was there, she was in the attacks, in Manhattan from the Chitauri and the first Avengers movie, and she's like, you've got a Hulk and you've got a super soldier and you've got a guy flying around in a suit, and then there's just a dude with a bow and arrow who's quite possibly like the most inspiring of them all, because he can be taken out very quickly. So again, it's very good. Don't shit on the show. Now, Mike, the list that you gave me.
Okay, I'm same as you. I'm going Smallville. I'm going Loki.
Yeah, 2 for 2.
I'm going X-Men 97.
Okay. Apparently you hate Gambit.
I'm going Jessica Jones.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go Watchmen.
All right.
So we almost had the same ones.
Like Meatloaf saying, 3 out of 5 ain't bad.
Exactly.
So
here's the thing. I probably would have gone Swamp Thing, but I think I only saw 3 episodes of it because I wasn't watching it Like I hit the CW app and I would watch it every once in a while. Also because like on my phone, like it was just super dark on it, like even with the brightness and stuff like that. And then I was watching it, and then one week it was just gone. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah,
I think you can watch it on Max.
It might be on Max now. I'll check it out if it is. So.
All right. Well, that was fun, Mike.
It was.
We haven't done that in a while. We haven't got together in a couple of weeks. It's always good seeing you, sir.
Yes, indeed.
You're the man.
I tried.
What the heck are we going to talk about next week?
Next week, we are going to talk about
other things.
Other stuff.
Yes. I can't wait. Hey, this would be a great time if you are in the comments right now or in live or down the road. Give us a topic that we can maybe do a keep five, a pick five thing. Yeah. We'll cross-reference the list of topics to see if we've cracked that particular nut. And if not, we'll give it some consideration. So it's fun. Great having the interactive comment section tonight. So we thank Fred and Minnie and Josh and Highlander. And I don't know if I missed anybody who popped in from time to time. Scrolling up. Yeah, we're done. I scroll up far enough. Oh, yeah, no. That'd be a very short conversation, friend. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of Nerds United. It is a Jittery Monkey podcast, jitterymonkey.com. We're back up and running. I don't know if I told you this, Mike, but we had some issues last week. Or not last week, 2 weeks ago, trying to upload. Everything was gone. The website was error 404. So I had to get on with the hosting site, and luckily the site kind of auto updates or auto restores every backs itself up every day. So able to restore it, everything's back. But I was like, oh man, 11 and a half years just down the crapper. So yeah. So that well, here we go. We done 1980s cartoons, Mike?
Is that lame? No. Well,
it's not lame.
We might look into that. Yeah.
And Minnie was obsessed with He-Man. We all were.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, we'll double check our list and.
Yeah. I know we didn't do it. I'm just trying to think if there's enough that I would know about. I think we've done I feel like we've done 90s cartoon shows or 90s shows for sure.
Yeah. Well, for sure.
Yeah, because we had like Full House and Family Matters and stuff like that.
Yeah. Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Not a bad idea.
Not bad. Thank you, Minnie, for contributing. Thank you all for spending some time with us tonight. And for my good friend and co-host of the year, Mike Luther, I'm Greg Mahochko. This is Nerds United, a jitterymonkey.com podcast. And we remind you each and every week to be kind, Mike, and
rewind.
This is a production of the Jittery Monkey Podcast Network. For more jittery shenanigans, go to jitterymonkey.com.